students will know their concern. Apparently, they had read my student evaluations. But I am really very honored and privileged to be able to speak one last time to a group of students that I have a tremendous amount of respect and admiration for. You know, I have spoken in public thousands of times. I've spoken in open court as an attorney. I've presented at conferences and conventions, trainings, and seminars, and I must tell you, this is the most nervous I've ever been. I think it's in part because I have so much respect for the graduate clinical psychology program at Azusa Pacific University, and I'm honored to be a part of it. And also so much admiration for the graduating class of 2014. I don't know what it says about me that I'm unflappable speaking before a room full of attorneys, but when I'm asked to address a room full of aspiring therapists, I'm shaken to my core. I'm sure that someone will have a name for it and provide me with the diagnosis before the end of the night. And thank you, Vicki. The poet Mary Oliver writes, "There are some things you can't reach, but you can reach out to them, and all day long. What we reach out for is the creation of a community of kinship, a sense that we belong to each other, and to stand against the perverse notion that some people's lives are more or less important than others." Father Greg Boyle of Homeboy Industries says, "No kinship, no justice. No justice, no peace. If kinship was our goal, we would not be promoting justice, we would be celebrating it." It has been the privilege of my professional life to work on the front line of Los Angeles' notorious Skid Row for the last several years, with substance abusing, mostly co-occurring homeless and at-risk homeless men, women, and yes, even children. The stories are heartbreaking, their circumstances are bleak, and the barriers that exclude and preclude abound. But if there is a fundamental challenge within these stories, it is simply this: to change our lurking suspicion that they are somehow deserving of their plight. God can get tiny if we're not careful. Mother Teresa said, "If you judge people, you will have no time to love them." The late great poet and author Maya Angelou put it this way: "We are all human, therefore nothing human can be alien to us." Recently, one of my clients, we'll call him Emmett, a 28-year-old resident of the Midnight Mission in treatment for about 9 months, reminded me once again of the immense power of kinship. Throughout his many months in treatment, he struggled mightily with abstaining from his drug of choice, crack cocaine. Emmett tested positive for cocaine on so many occasions, we just stopped testing him. We told him, "Emmett, keep coming back to treatment. Let us love you until you can love yourself. And if you stop using, let us test you." Through it all, Emmett never missed a group and never missed an individual session. He would show up to the facility and say, "Yo, Mr. Bill, I need you to analyze me." And I would tell him, "Emmett, I'm not going to analyze you, but I am here to support you." On one particular occasion, he walked into my office, smiling ear to ear, and proudly proclaimed, "Mr. Bill, I'm clean, go ahead, test me." And I was shocked. I responded, "Emmett, are you sure? Are you certain? What happened? How did this happen?" And he looked at me and he said, "Mr. Bill, I've had a hell of a bad week. I've smoked up all my GR money. I got kicked out of the Midnight Mission. I lost my phone and my girlfriend. So I finally had to ask myself, Emmett, how many things are going to happen to you before something occurs to you?" and I haven't gotten high since. Wow, I replied. Emmett, that is very profound. And he said, I don't know about all that, Mr. Bill. That's Robert Frost. You read that to me in class several months ago, and I never forgot it. And then he looked at me in my eyes, and I looked at his, and he said, thank you for not giving up on me, Mr. Bill. Emmett, I replied, thank you for not giving up on yourself, and thank you for not giving up on me. And in that moment, suddenly, kinship. Beautiful mutual kinship. That each of you in the graduating class of 2014 is prepared to answer the noble call to service is indisputable, and to be certain very commendable. But my bold challenge to each of you is this: service alone is not enough. The true measure lies not in serving others, but being one with them. And it begs the question, to whom are we willing to be of service? My friends, service is merely the hallway that leads to the grand ballroom, where you find mutual kinship with those living on the margins of life. The poor, the powerless, the afflicted, the voiceless, the easily despised, and the readily left out. My highest hope for each and every one of you is to go beyond the hallway into God's grand ballroom. Again, quoting at length from Father Boyle, close both eyes and see with the other one. Then we are no longer saddled by the burden of our persistent judgments, our ceaseless withholding, our constant exclusion. Our sphere is widened, and we find ourselves quite unexpectedly in a new, expansive location, in a place of endless acceptance and infinite love. And here's what we seek: a compassion that can stand in awe of what they have to carry, rather than to stand in judgment of how they carry it. If we love what God loves, we dismantle the barriers that exclude. No daylight to separate us, only kinship. Inching ourselves closer to creating a circle of compassion. Then we imagine no one standing outside of that circle, moving ourselves closer to the margins so that the margins themselves will be erased. At the edges, we stand with the demonized so that the demonizing will stop. We situate ourselves right next to the disposable, that the day will come when we stop throwing people away. A friend asked me a while ago, how does it feel to help someone save their life? I responded by telling her, I'm certain I don't know. I do know, however, that my life gets saved every day. When I need patience, my clients rescue me from my impatience. When I'm angry, they remind me how grateful I should be. When I think that I know it all, they teach me that I have much still to learn. And when I'm lacking courage, they show me what real courage looks like. Mutual kinship through fearless community. A former attorney working on the front line of Skid Row, in his own recovery, embracing his own wounds so that he can help heal the wounded, who in turn help heal him. That's how it works. All of us are called to move beyond this place to something larger, something better. Some of us take the journey. So maybe there are some things you can't reach, but you can reach out to them, and all day long. What Martin Luther King said about a church is true about your time at Azusa Pacific University. It's not the place you come to, but the place you come from. In the spirit of, and to paraphrase Mother Teresa, go out into the world today and every day and love the people you meet. Let your presence light new light in the hearts of the people, and let them light up your heart too. Congratulations, good luck, and God bless the class of 2014.